Hey, what's up, Tesla enthusiasts or soon to be Tesla enthusiasts? Uh, Figured I'd make a video going over some of the things that I wish maybe I would have been able to watch a video on before making my purchase of my used Tesla. So, as the title says, you're thinking about buying a used Tesla. Here's some things to think about. So I'll just let you know what I bought, and then we'll go from there. So I bought a 2013 P85, a Model S, sorry, Model S P85. If you didn't know this, set you down here for a second while I make some coffee. The P is for performance. If you see a D, like a P85D, that would be a performance 85 kilowatt hour dual motor. That's what that means. The D is dual motor. So, as right now, being 4 or 5 months later, that is probably the only thing that I would really change. I mean, there's other things, but to be honest, if I just really take myself out of the situation and looked at it, and I was looking at two cars, and the only difference was one was all-wheel drive versus the performance model that I got, I would definitely take the all-wheel drive, not just a dual motor. I've had my car into Tesla. They gave me a loaner, which is awesome. Just keep that in mind. Every time I've been in there, they've given me a free loaner. But I've had a slightly newer model that was just a dual motor. It wasn't performance, and it is night and day. If you've never driven a Tesla before or an EV, maybe you wouldn't notice. Maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Me driving a performance Tesla for a while and then driving a non-performance, the performance is much more fun to drive. Anyway, if you don't need to go fast or you don't want to get up to speed on the freeway, the dual motor is probably fine for you. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So I bought a 2013 Model S P85. It had 70,000 miles on it. I got it for $30,000 out the door. Washington State says that I don't have to pay tax on the first 16,000 of it. I traded in my Silverado, so I didn't even have to pay tax on it. It's pretty nice. It was like being gifted a vehicle. I thought that was pretty dope. But sorry, coffee. I tell my wife all the time I have a problem because I drink coffee all day long. I'm attempting to limit myself currently, trying not to drink 5 to 10 cups a day. But, it is what it is, right? I could be drinking whiskey all day long. But, anyway, so, I forgot Jaden's lunch. That's okay. They'll take care of him. Anyway, things to consider. Do some math. Figure out if what you're currently driving or if you're in a position to replace a car or you need a car, right? So you don't have one. Try to do some rough math or whatever. I had a 2016 Chevy Silverado 4-wheel drive. Love the truck. It was fantastic. Highly recommend it if you need a truck. Go Chevy. I don't know. Now I'm a Chevy fanboy. To those who know me, that's probably funny to hear me say because I like to tease the Ford and Dodge guys all the time. Anyway, I ran the math and was way ahead of where I was going to be at. And I used best case scenario for the truck, and well, there isn't really a worst case scenario for the car. I just added in I just raised my electric bill by way more. Like I just doubled my electric bill type deal for worst case, and I still was coming out ahead of where I was at. I will be honest, I left out insurance costs. So I bought the car, then I went to add it to my insurance, and it raised my premiums $300 every 6 months, so $600 a year. That's pretty substantial. I reran my numbers. I am still way better. I'm spending way less money with the Tesla, even adding on $600 a year. So, but keep that in mind. Teslas are expensive to insure. Parts are hard to come by. You just got to think about that stuff beforehand. I lucked out. Other things to think about cost-wise. My car brand new was $108,000. I got it for $30,000. If that's not a good enough reason to buy a used one, I don't know what is. What else? EVs are not maintenance free. Every 2 years I just did it. The guy who had it before me, his services were coming up in February. It's March now. So I just did this. Every 2 years, if I can assume the costs are going to stay the same, you have about $260 worth of maintenance to do. $80 of that was replacing my TPMS sensors in each one of my wheels. I'll be honest with you, in 2 years' time, if I still driving this car, I probably won't have them do that. My TPMS sensors were doing fine. There's really no reason for them to switch them. Could have saved $80. You do you if you get a Tesla and it comes to that. And then every third year is the other service, and that's for the coolant for the batteries. I would assume that that's something you can't skip. I don't know what that's going to cost. But light of it, as long as it's not $1,000 or $2,000, which I know it's not, I'm still including my maintenance costs and cost of ownership. I'm doing so much better than I was with a ICE vehicle, which is internal combustion engine. For those who don't know or didn't know, I didn't. So, what else? Brakes. I am currently dealing with this. I guess you can ask a question in the comments below later on, and I'll let you know later on what we found. I started to kind of feel a pulsing. I have lots of brake pad. My rotors feel pretty smooth from what I can feel. I'm a little bit mechanically inclined. I've done brakes on cars and trucks before. Tesla says that I have my regen set to high, so I take my foot off the accelerator and the car stops. Well, it doesn't stop, but it's pretty abrupt. It's coming to a stop. I don't brake very much. I don't use my brakes very hard. They told me that can cause a buildup on the pads because they're not getting such a firm, they're not really being pressed up against the rotor as well as if you're in a regular car. A regular car, you got to have that squeezing on that rotor. This is doing that, just not as hard as in a regular car. So they told me to turn it down. I don't have an off option in my car, the regen. I can turn it to low, and he says just run it like that for a couple weeks, see if it wears down any of that buildup on there, and then see. So I'm 3 or 4 days into that, so I guess I can let you know later how that comes out. I think I need my rotors turned. There's a little tiny, it is tiny, just barely enough to feel on my rear rotors, a little lip on the outside and on the very, very inside. Everything else is smooth. Kind of gives me the impression that they might be warped, so I don't need them turned. I think I need new rotors. And in which case, when I've done brakes in the past, I don't reuse the same brake pads, just swap it all out. But I digress. I don't know where this is going to turn up. But keep that in mind. It is a thing that you will have to do. There's lots of forums out there where it'll show people saying, I've got 140,000 miles and I've never done my brakes. Great, good for you. If you're a person that stops short, meaning you drive all the way up to the stoplight and then you slam on your brakes, you're going to warp your rotors in any vehicle you own. You're going to have lots of maintenance costs. Don't do that. But if you do, you're going to be doing brakes on a Tesla all the time. Don't buy a Tesla thinking, oh, I won't have to do this because nobody does brakes on Teslas. It's not factual information. You will end up doing them. And that could have been what was happening with the previous owner. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Only time will tell, right? So there's that. Other maintenance. You're supposed to rotate your tires. Oh, so you cannot just jack up a Tesla. They have the whole bottom of it is the batteries, so you can't just throw a jack under there and jack it up in your garage and I'm going to rotate my tires and save myself some money. You can do this, but you need a pad for your jack. It looks like a kind of a small Lego almost, or a large Lego. It's got, you can look it up on Amazon and see a picture of it. They just got two little nubs on the top of it. It's about like that. Over here and here, the two little Lego pieces coming up. They fit in two holes. You can buy single ones that are round, and they just, I don't know, round disc like that with a nub right in the center. I think the nub's about that big around. Not that you guys can tell how big that was. I don't know, maybe a silver dollar size, but that fits in there. That's how you jack the car up. You jack up from there. The bummer part about this is you got to consider, okay, so that's what I'll do. I'll order these $50 jack pads and I'll lift the car up and I'll rotate the tires myself. Okay, great. How are you going to put the car up on jack stands? So I guess you could get those pads and lift up and have the whole car go up on its side and put one of those pads on top of a jack stand and drop it down and then go to the other side and lift from the back and hope that it doesn't teeter or whatever. It seems off to me. I don't like this. There's a company, Safe Jack, that makes a jack. It's not a jack. They're jack stands. They're two legs with a bar that comes out. And on top of that bar, you put the pad. You put that bar and those pads on top of your jack. You lift it up and click on the legs and lower it down, and there you go. You've jacked up the car with the jack stand, essentially, making it much safer. You can go around and do it that way. They're really, really expensive. They're not cheap. I plan on investing in them, but just know this. You're not just going to go out and jack up your car and do it with the tools that you have in your car. That said, since you're in the garage, or since I'm talking about being in the garage, get your plug first. Don't do like I did and go buy the car and not have the plug installed. It wasn't that big of a deal. I installed a 240 plug. It took me a couple hours, but because of COVID, like the Home Depots and the Lowe's, they're not fully stocked. So to find the breaker that I needed, it took me longer than it should have. It was kind of a pain. Your other option is to get the Tesla charging like station thing for your garage. It's $500. It doesn't matter where you get it from. It's $500. You get it from Amazon. You get it from Tesla. It's $500. My understanding is this: it looks cool, I guess. I don't know. It charges your car a little bit faster. Right now, I get between 28, 25, and 35 miles per hour charging. And that's not very fast, especially when you consider supercharging. You'll get 150 miles per hour charging, or whatever it is through the supercharging. Supercharging over and over and over and over and over is not good for your batteries. It's not. You can look it up. I'm not going to go into it. I went down a rabbit hole. There's so much information on it. Don't do it all the time. If you live in a condo, you might want to figure out a different alternative to charging. Don't go to the superchargers all the time. Can't say I didn't tell you. 30, 25, whatever miles per hour charging is plenty to charge that car overnight. You come home from work, you plug your car in, you have a full charge in the morning. Along those lines, don't charge your car all the way up. That's not a thing that you're going to do. you can actually change how high or how low it charges. So my car, in non-winter time, you lose like 20% when it's cold out. Even though my car's in the garage, I still lose it. It uses more power. You get less range. Just keep it in mind. It's a thing. But on like if it's summer, and I bought the car at the end of summer, it says I get like 260-ish miles on if I charge it 100%. I don't ever charge it 100%. The most I go is 80%. And there, I don't remember what it was during the summer, but right now it's like 220 miles. It's still pretty cold out though. That's plenty. I usually only do that if I know I have a bunch of errands to run. To be honest, I'll go out there and I'll set it to like 160. It's just better. Your battery will last longer. If you're going on a long trip, pop open your app. Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave in a couple hours. Pop that puppy up there, charge it up. If you're gonna do full, if you need the extra few miles, you need to charge it full and leave. As soon like it gets there, I don't know, set a timer or whatever you gotta do and leave right after that. Man, this video is getting long. Sorry guys. What else can I say? Tesla Service Center. I go to the one in Linwood, Washington. They're fantastic. I love those people. They treat me as if I just paid $108,000 for the car when it was brand new in 2013. They treat me the same way. They know I didn't buy it from Tesla. They know I got it third party, and they know I didn't pay what they would have charged me for it. I got a pretty good deal. They don't care. They are great people. Every person I've dealt with down there, I've had the car in there a couple times, just going over maintenance and having them check it out after I bought it, whatever. They're great. My brake issue, my car started, pulsing, and I'm dealing with it. They text me through the app. And actually before they text me, the tech called me and was like, hey, and just went through things. Super nice, super awesome, super helpful. Man, I gotta say, out of all the new cars that I've owned, hell, even the used cars that I've owned, I love Tesla service department in comparison to the other ones. The other ones I'd be like, meh, they're a service department, whatever. They fix my wife's car. Nothing to write home about. I tell every person I know about the service. I think I like their service better than I like the car, and I love the car. Coffee. I'll take you outside so you can see the car before I get off of here. So let's see. I went over brakes, went over charging. I really honestly don't feel that there's a need to spend $500 on the charging thing. I took my cord out of the car, and that it comes in a little bag, and I just leave it hooked up. I don't ever unplug it. And I bought an adapter for $80 off of Amazon so I can charge at non-Tesla chargers. That stays in the car because all the chargers have a cord. I don't need a cord. Save myself some money, right? I think my charger, the whole setup was, maybe $50, $60, something like that. So I'll turn you around here. This is my car. She's a little dirty. I tinted it. I didn't like feeling like I didn't bring keys. Like I was in a fishbowl. So I tinted them. I think the only thing else that I would change about this is, excuse the mess. Where is it? Right there. That trough. That's where my center console should be. Lots of them don't come with one. Those are only 2 cup holders. You can buy I don't know, it's a thing that fits in there. You can buy it with the trim that your car has. I have carbon fiber. Some of them have wood, whatever. You can buy it. I hate to admit it, but I'm probably going to buy it. The frunk has a surprising amount of room. Let's see, I don't know, it might be too bright. Anyway, I honestly think I could fit in there. It would be tight, but there is a lot of room. Costco runs. I've used it. Let's see. I went through Diamond car mats, 210 to 220, something like that. I got these. They're great. They're better than WeatherTech, and they're much cheaper. And I have that's where I keep my car wash stuff, down there, because I don't have the other row. Yeah, the car's great. Just know that there is still maintenance cost. You'll still do brakes. There is also this thing called the eMMC that you need to know about. It's the last thing I'll say, and then I'll try to wrap it up. The eMMC is a read-write, chip that's in the, what do they call that? Infotainment center. The big 17-inch screen that's right in the center of the dash. That controls everything your car does. In the early days, they put this thing in, it's got 8 gigs of memory. And I guess Tesla just thought that it would keep reading and writing and it would do its thing and be fine. It's not. They go out, that makes your screen start flickering. Sometimes it just goes black, goes completely out. It's one of the times my car's been in. I have not had it fixed yet. I feel very secure that it is handled. Tesla did a voluntary recall. My car is on there. As soon as the service department has my parts, they'll call me up, drop the car off, give me a loaner. They're gonna fix it with a 64 gig chip, probably more than I'll need. They did some updates to try to help it. The best thing I could say is the new ones supposedly are better in the 2021s. Maybe even the 2020s. They went with a whole different chipset. Supposed to work better. So there's that. Maybe that's a good enough reason for you to go buy a brand new one, but my car would be over $100,000 brand new, and I'm not doing that. So, but they've been on top of it. I asked them about it. Yeah, it's great. I really feel that they're going to take care of it, and there's not going to be anything to worry about. So that's that. If you have any questions, you can post them underneath, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I'm not pretending to know anything about these cars. This is my first EV. There was some upfront costs, and there's a learning curve with this car. It's worth it. The only thing I would add is any family buying electric cars, make sure you have one gas car. You will feel better. I have a old beat up truck. I use it for camping or dump runs or whatever. And if it snows or there's too much ice and I just don't want to take out my nice car, I can drive the truck. That's my suggestion. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is really the first video of my channel. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it. I have some hobbies that I'm probably gonna post videos on the channel, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just make a new channel for those, and I'll just keep updating about Tesla. My wife might be buying a new Tesla, so I might have more content there. Anyway, peace. Like, subscribe, comment, I don't know, whatever. Do what you want.